There are the many images we have of him speaking to crowds, his arms stretched out as though embracing them, or looking serenely up to the heavens. He was a man with a faith as deep as it was abiding. For him, opposing injustice, standing up for the oppressed, defying unjust laws, was God's work. Destiny had anointed him a champion of the immortal cause of justice. He took to heart and lived the words of the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verses 8 to 9. Which says, "Speak out for those who cannot speak, for the rights of all the destitute. Speak out, judge righteously, defend the rights of the poor and the needy." He was not content to decry apartheid at conferences or benefit concerts or international forums. He was there with the freedom fighters, confronting the apartheid regime and comforting its victims. He was not content to preach about social justice from the pulpit. He was with the homeless, the helpless, the persecuted, the sick and the destitute, in the streets, in the shelters, and in homes. He embraced all who had ever felt the cold wind of exclusion, and they in turn also embraced him. He sought to emulate Jesus Christ, who embraced all those whose society looked down upon and rejected. Throughout his life, he became involved in causes both here at home and abroad that went to the very heart of the quest for social justice. Helping us to come to terms with the past was among the most arduous tasks of our new nation, and Archbishop Desmond Tutu played a seminal role in this whole process. At Madiba's request, he led the Truth and Reconciliation process with integrity, dignity, and humility. While our beloved Madiba was the father of our democracy, Archbishop Desmond Tutu was the spiritual father of our new nation. In considering how fortunate we are as a country to have been blessed with these two global icons, we think about Vilakazi Street in Soweto, the only street in the whole world that was home to two Nobel Peace Laureates. We think how both of these two icons of our country played different but complementary roles in forging the nation that we are today. Archbishop Desmond Tutu has been our moral compass, but he's also been our national conscience. Even after the advent of democracy, he did not hesitate to draw attention, often harshly, to our shortcomings as leaders of the democratic state. He saw our country as a rainbow nation emerging from the shadow of apartheid, united in its diversity, with freedom and equal rights for all. The Arch bequeathed us many things: the importance of having the courage of one's convictions, solidarity with the oppressed, delivering on the promises made by the Constitution, and many others. But it was with this term, Rainbow Nation, that he bequeathed our new nation the greatest gift of all, hope and forgiveness. There are times when he felt let down, and yet he never lost hope. The most fitting tribute we can pay to him, whoever and wherever we are, is to take up the cause of social justice for which he tirelessly campaigned throughout his life. Archbishop Tutu has left a formidable legacy, and we are enormously diminished by his passing. His life straddled an epoch in our country's history that has now come to an end. Though we say goodbye to him today with the heaviest of hearts, we salute our beloved Arch for all that he did to help build this nation. We thank him for giving us hope, for reminding us of our responsibility as a people, but more especially also as leaders, and for giving us reason to believe that we are and that we can be a true rainbow nation that he spoke about. We celebrate him for what he was, life, mpilo. To Mama Leah and the family, our nation shares in your sorrow. On behalf of the government and the people of South Africa, we thank you for sharing your husband, your father, your brother, uncle, and grandfather with us. We know it was not easy, and yet you did so willingly. He belonged to all of us, and it is all of us who mourn him. But today, we celebrate his life. I recently came across these words which provide a fitting end to any tribute to Desmond Tutu. Tears are sometimes an inappropriate response to death. When a life has been lived completely honestly, completely successfully, or just completely, the correct response to death's perfect punctuation mark is a smile. His was a life lived honestly and completely. He has left the world a better place, and he has left our country a much better place than we were prior to our democracy. We remember him with a smile, the type of smile that he would have flushed around. And we say, farewell, Father, servant of God.